Good afternoon and welcome to the City of Belleville Committee of Adjustment meeting for Thursday, March 17th. My name is Brian Miller and I will be chairing the meeting today. Our first order of business is pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof by anybody on any of the items today. I'll take that as a no. Our first application today was A522, but it has been withdrawn, so we will not be taking any action on that. We will be moving to our second application today is an application for minor variance A622667C Dundas Street East, and the owner is Mackenzie Cairns. So Andrew, you can give us an update on what's happening there.
Certainly, Mr. Chair. An application has been submitted for the above noted property, which is zoned M2 and is developed with a non-conforming single detached dwelling. There was a previous application last year in regards to the same premise to reconstruct the building, but it was a two-story building. The new application proposes a one-story building with a lesser east yard setback towards the neighbor to the east, but will still be centrally placed on the subject property. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Is Mr. or Mackenzie Cairns joining us today, Mark?
He is, and he is joining shortly. Mr. Cairns is joined. If you hover at the bottom, Mr. Cairns, you can unmute and address the chair.
Hello.
Hello, Mackenzie?
Hi.
Yes. Okay, so do you have any additional questions or comments regarding this application today?
No, I think Andrew pretty much covered everything, but just as a quick recap from me personally, we had this approved last September, October with a two-story, and for multiple reasons, specifically financially, I just decided to, instead of building a larger two-story house, we're just kind of compressing the home into a single family raised bungalow. So it'd be covering a little bit more ground there, but we had to centralize it. Like Andrew said, asking a little bit more setback relief from the east side. But other than that, not much different than the last variance that was approved.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Mackenzie?
I did have one thing to note. I may have gotten the direction wrong of which side is smaller. But that I believe it's the west side actually that has the smaller setback in comparison. Originally it was 6 meters on both sides, but the west side yard setback is less. I'll coordinate with Greg in terms of making sure that's correctly addressed.
Okay. Is there anyone else from the public that wishes to comment on 667C Dundas East?
I don't show any, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions or comments for the gentleman from any of the board? No? Okay. If not, then Robert, you're moving that it be approved and seconded by Glenn. All in favor? Carried. Okay, it's done. Thank you, Mackenzie.
Thank you.
Okay, well, moving on now to our next application. It's for a minor variance at A72214 Stanley Park Drive. The owners are Gordon Thompson and Robin Moran. And Andrew, you can let us know what's happening there.
Certainly. So a minor variance application has been submitted for the above noted property that's zoned R2 zone and has a single detached dwelling. The application proposes to increase the allowable projection for a front yard porch, which will have an effective 16'9" or about 5.1 meters setback from the front property line. The zoning bylaw also has provisions for front yard landscaping and driveways, and consequentially, that has been included in the request for minor variance. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, is Mr. Thompson or Moran with us today?
They're both, and they're being promoted now.
Okay.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon, Gordon, Robin.
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Yep.
Okay, both. Okay, so we're looking at 14 Sandy Park Drive. Do you have any questions, comments
No,
regarding the information that we have? Any additional?
no, nothing.
Nothing? Okay. Neither one? Any questions?
No, yeah,
for,
it's just that it seems fairly straightforward. We're just asking to put a front porch on the front of our house.
Okay.
Unenclosed, covered.
Okay. Any questions for our guests? No? Okay.
No.
If not, then a motion by Carol Merrill and seconded by Carol Feeney to approve. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Thank you, Gordon. Robin? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
moving along, our next application is an application for consent B 422, and it's 2026 Victoria Avenue. The owner is Cat's Meow Hair Salon, Inc., and the agent is Mark Noble. And Andrew, you can take it away.
Certainly. Let me switch slides here. So this consent application has been submitted for the above noted property. The properties of 20 to 24 Victoria and 26 Victoria had undergone an unintentional merger. The application proposes to reestablish the property line and re-separate the two properties into their respective ownership. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Is Mark Noble with us today?
He is. 1 second.
You?
Should be rejoining any second.
Hello,
Good afternoon, Mark.
good afternoon.
You can hear us okay?
I can.
Okay,
Apologies if there's some background noise. I'm in the car and
That's
in
okay.
Toronto.
So what we've got here basically is a technical severance. So do you have any additional information to provide today to us?
No, this is completely my fault. Typically, when we do a corporate amalgamation, the transfer of the property should have happened first. And when I got back to the office, I had been away and then realized that I hadn't left clear enough instructions to make sure that the transfer of the property happened before the amalgamation. And so we've got a technical severance. And so rather than punting this down the road and seeing if, when the owner goes to sell, if it's an issue, I thought it best that we just get it sorted out now.
Nip it in the bud.
Right. Yep.
Any questions for Mr. Noble? Is there anyone else from the general public that wishes to comment on this application?
There is none, Chair.
Okay, Robert, you had a question?
I do, yeah. So I did note that there was a note here from Greg. I think it was from, it's to Greg, from Jason Petit, saying that the proponent must confirm that 20, 24, and 26 Victoria Ave each have an independent municipal sanitary sewer and water service connection prior to the consent to approval. Does it have that?
My understanding is that yes, it does.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions, comments, concerns? If not, then
I'll move it for approval.
Glenn moved us to approve, seconded by Carol Feeney. No other questions, comments? All in favor? Good, thank you very much. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along, our next item of business is the confirmation of the minutes of a regular meeting of February 17th. Any questions, comments, concerns? If not, a motion to approve. Robert, seconded by Carol Merrill. All in favor? Done, thank you. We have an item of other business here, and I'll let Andrew explain that.
Greg, would you like to take
Greg?
this one?
Greg, do you want to
There's
do
some
that?
more technical
You're on
aspect of
mute.
it
There
from
we go.
engineering.
Certainly. Sorry, I'm just looking to find it here. Which item is that?
It's the College Street,
345 College.
severance
Oh.
conditions.
Right, that one. Okay, yeah. So the committee had looked at this as a severance and a request for a 4-meter easement across the one severed lot. Forget when it came. It was sometime in the last 6 months, anyway. And at the time, staff wasn't sure that 4 meters would be wide enough as an easement. So we had put a condition in to ensure that they would confirm that that was wide enough. And through further engineering review, it was determined that a more appropriate width of easement would be 7.5 meters wide to allow appropriate separation from between the water and sanitary sewer, and also to get the pipes at the right depth, essentially. So they've come back to request that the decision be amended to permit a 7.5 meter wide easement across the one severed lot instead of a 4 meter wide easement.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Oh, anybody have any questions or regarding this issue? If not, then a motion by Glenn to approve and seconded by Robert. All in favor? Thank you very much. Okay, is there any other correspondence, Greg or Andrew, that we need to look at? No?
Nope.
Okay, our next meeting is April the 21st at 3:30, provided we don't have a property standards issue. And if any other questions, comments, concerns from any of the members today? If not, then we will look for an adjournment here by Carol Feeney and Carol Merrill. Thank you very much. And everybody enjoy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
And we'll see you all
Everyone.
next month.
You all